Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered how a simple 1-cent coin from 1983 could end up being worth an astonishing $388 and why collectors and coin experts across the world are going crazy for this little piece of copper-coated history? This isn't just about spare change anymore, it's about discovering hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket or tucked away in a forgotten jar on a dusty shelf. The 1983 1-cent coin from the United States might look like every other penny at first glance, but what sets it apart is a fascinating blend of rare minting errors, unique composition changes, and specific visual defects that make it one of the most intriguing coins for both seasoned numismatists and casual collectors alike. The real story begins in the early 1980s when the U.S. Mint decided to switch from making pennies out of 95% copper to using a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper due to rising metal costs. This change officially took place in 1982, but the impact rippled into 1983 with unforeseen consequences. Among those was the unexpected discovery of certain 1983 pennies that appeared to have been struck on leftover copper planchets or experienced transitional errors. These rare occurrences led to a frenzy in the coin collecting world, as collectors scrambled to identify pennies with these peculiar characteristics. One of the biggest reasons for the spike in value of the 1983 1-cent coin is the infamous 1983 copper penny, which was struck on a copper planchet instead of the intended zinc core. The difference is almost invisible to the naked eye, but using precise scales or metal composition tests, you can determine whether a coin is copper or zinc. A normal 1983 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while the rare copper variety tips the scale at around 3.1 grams. It's this tiny variation that's turned ordinary-looking coins into goldmines for lucky finders. But weight isn't the only detail that makes these coins valuable. Many 1983 pennies are riddled with other minting anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even broad strikes. The double die obverse variety is particularly exciting for collectors. You can sometimes see noticeable doubling on the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." When such doubling occurs clearly and strongly, the value of the coin can skyrocket, especially if it is preserved in mint state condition or higher. Another known error that fetches high prices is the clipped planchet, where part of the coin appears to be missing due to a misfeed during the blanking process. These aren't just quirky imperfections, they're tangible proof of the minting process gone wrong, and in the world of numismatics, that makes them worth a premium. Coins with off-center strikes, especially those where more than 50% of the design is missing yet the date remains fully visible, are highly sought after because of their dramatic appearance and scarcity. Die cracks and die breaks, where the die used to strike the coin is damaged or fatigued, can cause raised lines or extra bumps on the coin's surface, making each affected penny uniquely different. It's this combination of uniqueness, history, and rarity that turns a 1983 penny from everyday currency into a collectible asset. But not all valuable 1983 pennies have glaring defects. Sometimes it's about condition and grading. Coins that are preserved in pristine condition, known as mint state, MS, coins, are far more valuable than their circulated counterparts. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, and even a single point can make a huge difference in value. A 1983 penny graded MS67 or higher with full red, RD, luster is significantly rarer than one in average condition, and such coins often bring hundreds of dollars at auction. Additionally, provenance and population reports, records of how many of each type of coin exist in a particular grade, also influence the market price. The fewer high-grade examples that exist, the more valuable yours becomes. There's also immense value in coin roll hunting, where collectors search through rolls of pennies from banks or storage hoping to find that one jackpot coin. While most people would dismiss such efforts as fruitless, those who understand the potential of coins like the 1983 1-cent know that patience and persistence can pay off big time. Social media platforms are full of stories of lucky finds and viral videos showcasing people who discovered these hidden gems among common change. These personal anecdotes fuel the frenzy, keeping interest alive and spreading awareness of what to look for. Many viral clips show how to weigh a penny using a basic kitchen scale or identify doubling using a simple magnifying glass, techniques that anyone can try at home. One viral video even documented someone finding a 1983 double-die penny in pocket change and selling it for over $500 after professional authentication. That's the kind of life-changing moment that turns casual viewers into enthusiastic collectors overnight. Educational forums, YouTube channels, and Reddit communities are thriving with posts about the 1983 penny, including detailed guides, comparison images, and value estimates that keep enthusiasts engaged. Even those with minimal coin knowledge are now learning about numismatic terminology like planchets, strikes, die states, and luster, all thanks to the captivating allure of the 1983 1 cent. Additionally, coin shows and auctions have started spotlighting this coin more frequently, with rare examples drawing aggressive bids from private collectors and investment firms. The 1983 penny is no longer just a numismatic curiosity, it's a trending financial asset, a piece of American history, and a symbol of how even the smallest item can carry immense value under the right circumstances. And beyond all the statistics, values, and error types, there's something deeply nostalgic about holding a coin minted over 4 decades ago and imagining how it's traveled through time. Whether it was used to buy candy in the 80s, passed through countless cash registers, or buried in a child's coin collection, the journey adds to its mystique. Now, instead of disappearing into obscurity, these coins are being cherished, graded, traded, and preserved as tangible links to the past with skyrocketing worth. So, if you ever stumble upon a 1983 penny, don't overlook it, check its weight, inspect it closely, and consider getting it graded. That 1 cent could be your entry ticket into the fascinating world of valuable coin collecting and might just be worth hundreds more than its face value. And if this kind of discovery excites you as much as it excites collectors across the globe, make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more stories of everyday coins hiding extraordinary value. Next, 1992 1 cent USA coin. Have you ever held a simple 1 cent coin in your hand and wondered if it might be worth hundreds of dollars without even realizing it? That's exactly what's happening with a specific 1992 1 cent coin from the United States that has stunned collectors and exploded in value to a staggering $374 due to a rare blend of minting errors, transitional features, and exceptional circumstances that make this coin far more than just a piece of pocket change. It's become a viral treasure in the world of numismatics and an unexpected source of excitement for casual collectors and coin enthusiasts alike, and once you learn why, you'll never look at a penny the same way again, because the story behind the 1992 penny isn't just about what it's made of or how old it is, but rather what went wrong during its production and how those small oversights at the US Mint created something so rare that today it's being chased, bought, and sold at values hundreds of times above its face value. And what really kick-started the frenzy was the now famous discovery of the 1992 close AM variety, which refers to a subtle but important design difference on the reverse side of the penny, where the letters A and M in the word America are unusually close together compared to the standard white AM design used in business strikes for that year. And while this might seem like a minor detail to the untrained eye, for those who know what they're looking at, the 1992 close AM penny represents an exceptionally rare transitional design intended for proof coins that somehow ended up being used on a small number of circulation coins by mistake, making them incredibly scarce and highly valuable. And it's not just the 1992 close AM that's worth hunting, there's also the 1992 D close AM variety, minted at the Denver Mint, which shares the same rare trait and has become one of the most desirable Lincoln cent errors in modern numismatic history, with certified examples fetching several $100s even in circulated condition and well over $1,000 in mint state. And this coin has sparked a wave of interest online, with social media posts, YouTube videos, TikTok clips, and Reddit threads going viral as users share tips, comparisons, and magnified images to help others identify the elusive close AM trait in their own coins. And this surge in awareness has led to people all over the country digging through old jars of change, coin rolls from the bank, and forgotten drawers in search of the next big score. And the beauty of it is that you don't need to be a professional to find one. All it takes is patience, a good eye, and Perhaps a simple magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the spacing between the A and M in America on the back of any 1992 penny you come across, because if those two letters are almost touching, you might be holding a close AM and, potentially, hundreds of dollars in value, and while the close AM varieties are the most well-known, the 1992 penny is also sought after for other types of minting anomalies and errors that make certain examples even more valuable, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, repunched mint marks, and coins struck on foreign or misaligned planchets, and one of the most exciting aspects of these errors is how dramatically they affect the coin's appearance, with some featuring bold doubling on the date or inscriptions, noticeable distortions where parts of the design are missing, or jagged edges and warped surfaces that tell the story of a minting process gone awry, and collectors love these visual oddities, because they make each error coin unique and add character and narrative to what would otherwise be just another penny. And what makes the 1992 close AM even more compelling is the fact that it wasn't officially discovered until years after it was minted, meaning that for a long time, people were unknowingly spending or tossing away these valuable coins, which makes the surviving specimens that much rarer and more coveted. And professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have confirmed only a very limited number of these coins in high grades, and that scarcity drives up demand and prices, especially when one appears on auction platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay, where bidding wars have pushed final sales well beyond the $374 mark depending on the coin's condition, luster, and overall eye appeal. And it's not just about grading either. Coins with strong red color and minimal wear command higher premiums, and even those with some circulation wear can fetch impressive prices if the error is prominent and the details are clear. And stories have emerged of people finding a close AM penny in pocket change and turning it into hundreds of dollars overnight, with one person reportedly finding a 1992 D close AM at a garage sale and later selling it for over $1,000 after certification. And this sense of real-world treasure hunting has added a new level of excitement to coin collecting, transforming it from a quiet hobby into a viral sensation with millions of views across platforms, as people rush to learn how to identify rare coins and test their luck with their own collections. And alongside all this buzz is a growing appreciation for the art and science of minting coins, how dies are engraved, how planchets are prepared, how designs evolve over time, and how tiny variations and accidents can create something worth hundreds of times more than intended. And what's more fascinating is that these valuable coins are not buried in the ground or locked in vaults. They're out there, in circulation, in old penny jars, in bank rolls, hiding in plain sight just waiting to be found by someone who knows what to look for. And the more awareness grows, the more people become empowered to search, check, and discover. And that democratization of treasure hunting is what has turned the 1992 penny into more than just a coin. It's a cultural moment, a viral phenomenon, and a symbol of how history, luck, and curiosity can collide in the palm of your hand. And for anyone who loves a good mystery, a compelling hunt, or the thrill of turning nothing into something, the 1992 1-cent coin offers the perfect adventure. And if you're inspired by this story, excited to try your luck, or simply amazed at how much value can hide in something so small, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because there are countless more coins out there with secrets waiting to be revealed and values ready to surprise you. Next, 1997 1-cent USA coin. Today's video where we dive into the unbelievable story of a 1997 1-cent coin from the United States that has defied all expectations by reaching an eye-watering value of $345 due to a fascinating array of rare minting errors, production mistakes, and unique features that have captured the attention of numismatists, casual collectors, and viral coin treasure hunters across the country and beyond. And this isn't just about an old coin lying forgotten in a drawer. This is about a living, breathing piece of American currency that under the right circumstances transforms into a small fortune in your palm. So if you've ever dismissed pennies as worthless change, think again because this video will change the way you see them forever. And while the face value of a 1997 penny is just a single cent, its value on the collector's market skyrockets when certain conditions are met, especially when specific minting errors and anomalies are present. And to understand how such a common coin becomes such an extraordinary asset, we need to explore what exactly went wrong during its creation at the U.S. Mint, what kinds of errors make it valuable, and how you can identify those rare examples yourself. And the journey starts with the fact that the 1997 penny was part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, minted primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. Made from a copper-plated zinc composition that weighs approximately 2.5 grams, and designed with the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But while millions of these coins were struck under normal conditions, a small number of them ended up with production issues that drastically altered their physical appearance and increased their desirability among collectors, including double die errors, die clashes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchet strikes, and die cuds, all of which contribute to raising their value to hundreds of dollars. And one of the most famous and sought-after types of errors in the 1997 penny is the double die obverse, which results from the coin being struck more than once by misaligned dies during the minting process, creating a visible doubling of design elements such as the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." And this doubling can be extremely pronounced or more subtle depending on the extent of the error, but in high-grade examples, collectors pay significant premiums, especially when the doubling is sharp and unambiguous. And then there's the off-center strike error, which occurs when the coin blank or planchet is improperly aligned with the dies, resulting in a coin that has part of its design missing and a blank crescent-shaped area where no image appears, and these can range from minor to dramatic, with values increasing the more off-center the strike is, particularly when the date remains fully visible, which makes it possible to attribute the coin correctly. And then we also have coins that were struck on the wrong planchet altogether, which happens when a blank intended for a different denomination accidentally gets struck with the 1-cent design, leading to anomalies in size, weight, and appearance. And this kind of mistake is extremely rare but not unheard of, and any 1997 penny struck on a dime or foreign coin planchet is worth investigating, especially when verified by a professional grading company. And let's not forget the die clash error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring parts of each design onto the opposite die and creating ghost-like impressions on the resulting coins that confuse and excite collectors because they tell the story of what happened at the mint in that exact moment of mechanical failure. And these errors are not just random, they are historical footprints, physical records of mishaps that somehow escaped quality control. And in the case of the 1997 penny, some of these flawed coins made it into circulation and are now prized pieces in personal collections or up for sale at auction, fetching prices that astonish those who thought a penny was the least valuable denomination. And another popular error is the broad strike, which occurs when the retaining collar that holds the coin during striking malfunctions or is absent, allowing the metal to expand beyond normal dimensions, creating a coin that is wider and flatter than usual with missing or distorted rims. And this visual deformity catches the eye immediately, and when combined with high-grade preservation, makes for a valuable collectible. And then there's the clipped planchet error, in which part of the metal blank is accidentally cut off during production, resulting in a coin that appears to have a curved bite taken out of it. And while some fakes exist, genuine examples from 1997 that are verified by grading authorities such as PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds of dollars depending on size, location of the clip, and overall condition of the coin. And another rare but remarkable error is the die cud, which results from a break in the die that causes a raised lump of metal on the coin's surface where part of the design is missing or obscured. And these cuds add dramatic relief to the coin's appearance and are especially interesting when they affect the legends or bust, making the coin unique and increasing collector interest. And what's amazing is that these types of errors don't always require special equipment to identify. Many collectors have found them using simple magnifiers or loupes at home, checking loose change, coin rolls from banks, or old jars of saved pennies handed down from relatives. And it's these real-world success stories that have driven a wave of renewed interest in coins like the 1997 penny, leading to viral videos and trending posts on social media where collectors share their finds, offer tips on spotting errors, and showcase coins they sold for hundreds of dollars after professional authentication. And these platforms have empowered a new generation of coin enthusiasts to learn numismatic terminology like planchets, dies, strikes, luster, and grading, all while participating in a community that celebrates curiosity, discovery, and the thrill of finding hidden value in unexpected places. And the value of an error coin like the 1997 penny doesn't just rest in its anomaly but also in its condition, with coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, commanding much higher prices, and color designation also matters, with full red, RD, coins being worth more than red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, examples due to their visual appeal and preservation of original mint luster. And population reports from grading companies also play a big role because the fewer high-grade error examples that exist, the more valuable each one becomes in the eyes of collectors, and that's why some 1997 error pennies with strong doubling or dramatic off-center strikes have sold for well over $300 even when not in perfect condition, because rarity, eye appeal, and historical context combine to create powerful demand. And let's not overlook the fact that coins like this are time capsules, having survived decades in circulation while still retaining their identity and uniqueness. And when you hold one, you're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at a story, an accident. A survivor of a flawed moment in the minting process that somehow escaped detection and went on to be used in everyday commerce, possibly to buy candy, soda, stamps, or a newspaper, all while carrying within it the potential for future fortune. And the real beauty is that any one of us could have one of these valuable coins without knowing it, and all it takes is a few minutes, a bit of knowledge, and a closer look to potentially uncover something remarkable hiding in plain sight. And it's that mix of accessibility and possibility that keeps the hunt alive, keeps collectors engaged, and keeps content creators making videos just like this to share the excitement of the chase. And so whether you're brand new to coin collecting or have been in the hobby for years, don't ignore your pennies, especially those from 1997, because the next time you're handed one in change or spot one on the floor, it might just be the one with the error that makes all the difference. And if you found this video informative, fascinating, or even just inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more incredible coin stories that reveal how everyday currency can hold extraordinary secrets and surprising value. Next, 2017 P1 cent USA coin. Today's video where we explore the fascinating and often unbelievable world of coin collecting and how one ordinary-looking penny, the 2017 P1 cent coin from the United States, has surprised collectors and enthusiasts across the country by being worth an incredible $315 due to an array of rare minting errors, production flaws, and special historical features that make it one of the most intriguing and valuable coins of the modern era. And if you've ever thought of pennies as just small change with no real worth, this story will completely change your perception, because the 2017 P penny isn't just another copper-coated zinc coin. It represents a significant moment in U.S. mint history, a milestone of sorts, and the beginning of an era that many collectors view as monumental because for the first time ever in the long legacy of the Lincoln cent, the Philadelphia Mint included its P mint mark on the obverse of the coin, something that had never happened before on a circulating penny, making the 2017 P Lincoln cent an instant historical marker. And while millions of them were minted and released into circulation, a small number of them ended up with rare and dramatic mint errors that pushed their individual values far beyond face value and into the hundreds of dollars, and in some extreme cases, even higher depending on the condition, rarity, and specific nature of the error. And to understand how a single cent from 2017 could end up being valued at $315 or more, we need to dive deep into the minting process, identify the key errors that occurred, and examine why those mistakes transformed these coins into highly prized collector's items. And it all starts with the significance of the P mint mark, because prior to 2017, no Philadelphia Mint Lincoln penny had ever displayed the mint mark, making this year's issue a one-of-a-kind milestone, released to honor the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. And this first-time inclusion has driven widespread collector interest not just in the base coin itself, but also in variants, anomalies, and minting flaws associated with this release. And among the most valuable and frequently sought-after errors are double die obverse and reverses, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, die cracks, cuds, struck-through errors, misaligned dies, wrong planchet strikes, and more, each of which represents a specific type of failure in the minting process that led to visual and structural anomalies in the final product. and the double die error is perhaps the most iconic and instantly recognizable among collectors, especially when it appears on major features like the date, Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust," and in the 2017 P-penny. Several documented examples of strong doubling have been discovered and confirmed by collectors and grading authorities. And when the doubling is clear and visible, these coins command high prices, particularly in mint state conditions. With sharp luster and full red color designation, and then there's the off-center strike error, which happens when the coin blank is improperly aligned with the dies during striking, resulting in a partial or incomplete design that may show only part of Lincoln's bust or be missing large chunks of the rim, and these coins are dramatic and visually striking, especially when the date is still legible, and collectors are willing to pay big premiums for well-preserved examples with extreme off-center percentages, often pushing the value of the coin to well over $300, and another common but valuable error is the broad strike, which results from the coin being struck without the collar that normally contains its shape, allowing the metal to spread out and flatten, creating a coin that appears wider, thinner, and without defined rims, and when these broad strikes are combined with full detail and no post-mint damage, they can be highly valuable, especially for a coin like the 2017 P-penny. With its unique historical significance, and next we have die clash errors, which occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring parts of the opposing die image onto each other and causing visible traces of reverse elements on the obverse or vice versa, and such errors on the 2017 P-penny have been reported and authenticated, with some displaying clear ghost-like outlines that create eerie and collectible effects, and die cracks and die cuts are also prevalent on some 2017 P-cents, often resulting from overused or fatigued dies that start to fracture or break, leaving behind raised lines or blobs of metal where parts of the design are missing or distorted, and one specific example shows a large cut at the rim near the word trust, which garnered widespread interest on coin forums and eventually sold for several $100s due to its rarity and strong eye appeal. And another exciting possibility is the wrong planchet error, which occurs when a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin, gets accidentally fed into the press and struck with the penny design, resulting in a coin that may be undersized, overweight, or have a completely different metal composition than expected. And although rare, there are verified 2017 P-pennies struck on dime planchets and even on foreign blanks, which significantly boosts their market value, especially when certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. And then there are struck-through errors, where foreign materials like grease, thread, or metal shavings interfere with the die during striking, causing depressions or voids in the coin's surface that look like random shapes or missing features, and collectors find these types of coins especially intriguing because they are visually unique and often one-of-a-kind, telling a direct story about the minting environment and what went wrong during production, and when these errors are preserved in high-grade condition, their value can rise dramatically due to their collectible uniqueness. And another kind of error seen in 2017 P-pennies involves misaligned dies, where the obverse and reverse dies are not properly centered with each other, causing the coin's two sides to be rotated or offset relative to one another. And this rotational misalignment is rare but creates a fascinating effect that sets these coins apart from normal issues and commands a high price when authenticated and graded properly. And beyond these technical errors, it's also important to consider the role of condition and grading in determining a 2017 P-penny's true value, because the difference between an ungraded coin and one certified as MS67RD or higher can mean hundreds of dollars in added value, with collectors willing to pay a premium for high-grade examples that feature strong strike, original mint luster, full red coloration, and minimal contact marks. And in fact, population reports from major grading services show very few 2017 P-pennies reaching these upper levels, further enhancing their desirability and market value. And the viral nature of this coin's rise to fame cannot be understated, because once collectors began discovering these errors and documenting them on YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and Facebook groups, the demand and interest exploded, with videos showing simple tools like magnifiers and digital scales being used to check for doubling, misstrikes, and planchet issues. leading to widespread awareness and a surge in everyday people checking their change jars and bank rolls for potential treasures, and one viral post documented a collector finding a 2017 penny with a dramatic off-center strike and partial double die features, which after being graded and sold, brought in over $500 in a public auction, inspiring countless others to join the hunt and fueling a renewed interest in modern coin errors. And it's this accessibility that makes the story so powerful. Because anyone can participate, you don't need expensive tools or years of experience to find a valuable 2017 penny, just a little knowledge, attention to detail, and the willingness to look closely at what might otherwise be dismissed as an ordinary coin. And many collectors now view the 2017 penny as a gateway coin into the hobby, a perfect blend of modern minting, historical significance, and real-world value appreciation, and even beyond its era-related potential, this coin will always be the first and only U.S. penny to debut the Philadelphia mint mark in regular circulation, giving it a built-in collector base and long-term appeal that ensures continued demand for high-quality and error-filled examples alike. And whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning your journey in coin collecting, the 2017 1-cent coin is a reminder that value can hide in plain sight and that sometimes the most common objects, when paired with the right history and mistakes, can become rare and desirable treasures. And if this story fascinated you or gave you a reason to check your change with fresh eyes, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because there are more amazing coin stories coming your way that might just change your view on everyday money forever. Last 2004 1-cent USA coin, we explore the hidden world of coin collecting and uncover the jaw-dropping truth behind a simple 2004 1-cent coin from the United States that has unexpectedly skyrocketed in value to an astonishing $288 due to a fascinating range of rare errors, unintentional mistakes, and unique minting anomalies that have made it a hot topic among collectors and numismatic communities across the country. And while most people overlook pennies as mere pocket change or toss them into jars without a second thought, the truth is that some of these seemingly ordinary coins can hold immense hidden value, especially when they carry the kind of production flaws and distinctive characteristics that turn them from mass-produced currency into sought-after treasures worth hundreds of dollars. And the 2004 penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is a prime example of how minting errors, visual oddities, and transitional mistakes can combine to elevate a coin far beyond its face value and into the realm of collector gold. And what makes this particular coin so valuable isn't just a single isolated error, but rather a wide variety of known mistakes and rare variations that occurred during production, many of which slipped through quality control and ended up in circulation, waiting to be discovered by sharp-eyed enthusiasts or even average people just going through their loose change. And the first and most prominent error found on many valuable 2004 pennies is the double die obverse, a type of minting error where the coin's obverse die strikes the planchet more than once but becomes slightly misaligned between strikes, resulting in visible doubling of the coin's details, particularly on the inscriptions like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date itself. And while not all doubling is easily visible to the naked eye, the more dramatic and clearly defined the doubling, the higher the potential value, with some of the strongest examples of the 2004 double die error bringing in high three-digit values when authenticated and graded in mint state condition. And next we turn to another eye-catching error that adds significant value to this coin, the off-center strike, which occurs when the planchet is not properly seated in the striking chamber, causing the design to be imprinted off-center and leaving part of the coin blank or severely distorted. And coins with dramatic off-center strikes, especially those where the date is still visible and the strike is more than 50% off, are extremely desirable to collectors, as they represent a rare and visually striking departure from the norm. And when such coins are preserved in high grades with strong luster and minimal wear, their value can easily reach or exceed the $288 mark. And another error frequently found in 2004 pennies is the die clash, which happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, causing ghost-like impressions of one design to appear on the opposite side of subsequent coins. And this unusual feature often shows up as faint, out-of-place lines or shapes that collectors find fascinating because they represent a physical trace of the moment the mint machinery malfunctioned. And coins with clear and dramatic die clash marks can attract strong demand, especially when the clash is easily identifiable and doesn't interfere with the coin's core design. And yet another compelling error that contributes to the rising value of the 2004 D penny is the broadstrike error, which takes place when the coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, allowing the metal to expand beyond its normal boundaries and resulting in a coin that appears wider, flatter, and with missing or distorted rims, and this error creates a dramatic and unmistakable appearance that sets the coin apart from standard strikes, and in the case of the 2004 D penny, broad strike examples have sold for well over $200, especially in pristine condition and when paired with strong luster and a full red color designation. And then there's the clipped planchet error, a more visually extreme type of error where the coin appears to have a curved or crescent-shaped section missing due to an improperly cut planchet being used during striking. And while fakes exist, genuine clipped planchet errors from 2004 D have been certified by professional grading companies and have earned high prices at auctions due to their unmistakable appearance and rarity, particularly when the clip is large and the coin still retains strong detail on the rest of the design. And one of the most dramatic and rarest possibilities is the wrong planchet error, where the 2004 D penny is struck on a blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin, resulting in differences in size, color, and weight. And these errors are extremely valuable due to their rarity and the extreme visual difference from standard cents, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for authenticated examples, especially when they are in good condition and the anomaly is clearly evident. And another highly collectible error involves misaligned dies, where the obverse and reverse dies are not properly aligned with one another, causing one side of the coin to be rotated relative to the other. And this results in a dramatic and visually jarring effect that's immediately noticeable when the coin is flipped from one side to the other. And in the world of numismatics, this kind of error is known as a rotational die misalignment and can be worth hundreds of dollars when preserved in high grades with minimal wear. And the 2004 D penny also has examples with die cracks and die cuts, which occur when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged or breaks over time, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface where part of the design is missing or distorted, and these errors add depth and uniqueness to each affected coin and are highly collectible, especially when the crack or cut affects prominent areas of the design like Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. And beyond these obvious and dramatic errors, another key factor in determining the value of a 2004 D penny is its overall condition and grade, as coins that are well preserved with full red, RD, color, minimal contact marks, and strong strike quality can command significant premiums even without errors, and the value jumps dramatically when error coins are found in mint state grades like MS65 or higher, and that's where third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC come into play, as they not only confirm the authenticity of the error but also assign a grade based on strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal, and collectors place a high value on coins with strong grades, especially when the population of similarly graded examples is low, and reports show that high-grade error 2004 D pennies are relatively scarce, which adds to their value and desirability. And in addition to formal auctions, social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook have been flooded with stories and videos of people discovering valuable error pennies, including the 2004 D, and turning them into hundreds of dollars in profit, often using only basic tools like magnifying glasses, digital scales, or smartphone macro lenses. And these stories have inspired countless people to begin searching through their own change jars, bank rolls, and family coin collections in hopes of finding one of these valuable errors. And the most compelling part is that these coins are still out there in circulation, hiding in plain sight among everyday change and waiting to be found by someone with a keen eye and a bit of patience. And this accessibility has made modern coin collecting more popular than ever, as people realize that small and overlooked coins can sometimes hold massive value, and that with just a little knowledge and effort, they might be able to uncover their own numismatic treasure. And the 2004 D penny is a perfect example of this phenomenon, a coin that was never intended to be rare or valuable but which through a combination of minting errors, production flaws, and grading rarity has become one of the most interesting and valuable modern Lincoln cents in circulation today. And whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning their journey into the world of coin hunting, the 2004 penny should be on your radar, and the next time you receive a handful of change, take a moment to look closely. You never know when you might come across one of these valuable error coins that could be worth hundreds of dollars. And if this video has sparked your interest in coin collecting or helped you see pennies in a whole new light, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more amazing discoveries about coins you might already have in your possession that are secretly worth big money.